What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Footy Review. We're about talking footy, and I'm your host, Victor. We are big supporters of the U.S. men's national soccer team on this show. So today we're talking about the CONCACAF Nations League semifinals that took place yesterday on June 3rd. So we'll start there. Stay tuned for upcoming videos. We'll be discussing the CONMEBOL South American World Cup qualifiers, some bombshell transfer news in Europe, and other big news about the Europe, mainly squads, which players are in, which players are out, etc. But today we're focusing on the U.S. men's national team, the semifinal in the CONCACAF Nations League. This was one of the first games that fans of of Team USA were expecting to see the star-studded lineup, the big names in Europe that we have: Christian Pulisic, Gio Reyna, Weston McKennie, Zach Steffen, Serginho Dest, John Brooks. The list goes on and on. This was the first time that we were going to see our main lineup, well, most of it, on the pitch at the same time under Greg Berhalter as the manager. This was going to be an indication of things to come, Greg Berhalter's vision for the team and the direction that we're going to go. So I'll start with main takeaways from the game, and then I'll go a little bit into individual performances. We'll touch on the Mexico-Costa Rica game, which was the other semifinal, and then we'll wrap it there, speculating a little bit about the final versus Mexico on Sunday. So the U.S.-Honduras game, both of these teams, the last World Cup they qualified for was 2014. They both missed out on the 2018 Russia World Cup, which, if you follow Team USA, big disappointment. Everybody knows that. So this game, I think you can split it out into two parts: the first 20 minutes and then the rest of the game. In the first 20 minutes, the USA was looking good. We were showing quality on the attack. The caliber of our individual players was shining through. I'm talking about, good combination play between Gio Reyna, Serginho Dest, Weston McKennie. We created like 3 or 4 really big chances in the first 20 minutes. Reyna missed a clear one. Weston McKennie missed a wide open header off of a corner kick in the 13th minute. And we couldn't get that early goal to really set the tone for the game. If we had gotten 1 or 2 early goals, we would have really put Honduras on the back foot, and we might have been able to settle in just to, control the tempo of the game and not be sweating so much. But in classic Team USA fashion, we can't make it easy for ourselves. We missed all those early opportunities. And then around, between the 20th and the 30th minute of the first half, that was the turning point of the game, where Honduras got a couple of chances for themselves and their confidence started to grow. And you can see them start to impose their physicality on us. They have, 2 really physical, pacey, and talented players up top in Albert Ellis and El Choco Lozano, who looked menacing all game, attacking our back line. In the 27th minute, Zach Steffen comes out for a horrible clearance attempt on a set piece. Albert Ellis puts his head on it, and the ball is going into the goal. Josh Sargent, who was our striker, kind of did a miraculous backwards header goal line clearance, even though he was moving towards goal, which saved us from going down. And that was, for me, was the turning point in the game. After that, Honduras realized, man, we survived the early storm of the U.S., and we can win this game and really put the screws on the U.S. And the passion that the Honduran players started to play with really started to show. And I feel like that passion and that grit that Honduras plays with, it's the U.S. doesn't have it. Or I don't know if these players, because they're so young, maybe they don't know fully what it means to play in the CONCACAF. But, man, the United States is one of the teams in the CONCACAF that has the most resources, money invested into the team. But these other teams, what they lack in money, they make up for in passion and love of the game. The love of soccer in these Central American countries and Mexico is second to none. And that passion was the difference in passion was clear on the field. I think some of the United States players, they kind of assumed, well, I play for Barcelona, I play for Chelsea. This game should be a walk in the park because they're used to playing in the Premier League and, major European tournaments. But if you're serious about having a career with the U.S. men's national team, these high stakes games against Honduras, this is your bread and butter. This is how you eat. This is what you have to basically put your name on for playing for your national team if you're playing for USA. So hopefully this was a good learning experience. I'm hoping that we struggled because it was, a new team, maybe lack of chemistry, maybe not fully understanding what it is to play in the CONCACAF yet. But, I'm hoping it was a good learning experience and they kind of got a reality check because, man, Honduras was bossing the game at points in the game. And, man, they did not make it easy for us. So, but at the end of the day, we squeezed one in. Jordan Sibachu comes on as a sub late in the game. Gets a headed goal in the 89th minute off of a Weston McKennie assist, but we left it late, and we did not make it easy on ourselves. If we are even planning on being successful in major tournaments like the World Cup and the Olympics, we have to put away our chances when we have them, and we have to play with passion, not underestimate any team. So I'll go a little bit into some of the notable U.S. players, individual performances. Pulisic, who obviously is the big U.S. star, he's Captain America. He obviously just won the Champions League with Chelsea. He had a quiet game. He did have a big chance in the 30th minute of the first half, which he missed. But he did not grab the game by the scruff of the neck in the way that I think most American fans wanted to see. Gio Reyna, who was one of the youngest players on the field, only 18 years old, he looked great in the first half. He plays for Dortmund, obviously, in the Bundesliga. They finished in third place. He got 4 goals, 5 assists this season. He looked great. He was the one dribbling past Honduras, players being dangerous, cutting passes, intricate play with Weston McKennie and Serginho Dest. But just the finishing. He has to finish those big chances that he gets. And he's young. He has a lot to learn. I think the future is bright for him, but certainly in these games, he needs to start putting some goals away. Weston McKennie, he was decent. He obviously plays for Juve alongside Cristiano Ronaldo. He had the assist for Sibachu at the end of the game. He was decent. I felt at some time, even though he was part of the middle three, the midfield, they did look a little bit overpowered by Honduras a lot of times. Some of the physically imposing play that Honduras, that's their style. And then John Brooks looked a little bit shaky at the beginning of the game, got into a little bit of foul trouble, but I think overall had a pretty good game. He plays for Wolfsburg in the Bundesliga, and they finished in 4th place this season, so they will be playing in Champions League next season. And then obviously our goal scorer, Jordan Sibachu, he plays in the Swiss League for the young boys. He had 12 goals last season, and he was our savior yesterday. He came on and buried his first chance that he got, and that's what we need. So if I'm Greg Berhalter, I would start Sibachu over Josh Sargent in the final. He's a bigger player. I think you can put more service in the box for him, and he'll win more air balls against the defense. But we'll have to see what Greg Berhalter is thinking for the final. And then on the Honduras side, some notable players. Miner Figueroa, who's a legendary veteran in the Honduras squad, currently playing for Houston Dynamo, but he's 38 years old. He's not the same player he used to be, but in terms of leadership, he's invaluable and experience for the Honduras team. And then the 2 players that I mentioned early, Albert Ellis and Anthony El Choco Lozano, who were they were a menace to the United States defense all night, constantly breaking on the counter. Big, strong, powerful players. It's hard to knock them off the ball. But Albert Ellis, he plays for Boa Vista in the Portuguese league, where he had 8 goals, 6 assists this season. And Anthony Lozano plays for Cadiz in La Liga in Spain. So overall takeaways, the United States, we need more chemistry. We need to be more cohesive as a team, particularly on defense when we don't have the ball. And we need to start seeing some passion. We can't underestimate these teams. Honduras is one of the best teams in the CONCACAF recently, and they've proven it over and over and over again, always in contention to qualify for the World Cup, always going deep into the Gold Cup. So, these games, these have to be our bread and butter, and we're going to be playing the likes of Honduras, Mexico, Canada, Costa Rica, Jamaica to qualify for the World Cup. So we can't leave it late in all of these games like we did today. We can't, or we're going to end up missing the World Cup like we did in Russia. So good learning experience, I hope, for the players. Hopefully they get a few days to rest and they'll come out, eager to really impress against Mexico in the final. I also wanted to quickly touch, on the Mexico game. Obviously, Mexico is the dominant team in the CONCACAF. They have been forever. They always make the World Cup, and they always, they're always winning the CONCACAF competitions. So notably missing from the Mexico squad was Raul Jimenez and Javier El Chicharito Hernandez. Raul Jimenez plays for Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Premier League, but he suffered, a pretty bad head injury in the middle of the season, and I think he has not played since then. So, prayers out for him. Hope that he, gets well soon, and, maybe we'll see him again in a Mexico shirt. Who knows when that will be. So in the Mexico starting 11, the most notable player was Irving El Chucky Lozano. He plays for Napoli in the Serie A. He scored 11 goals this season, and they finished 5th place. So they will be playing in the Europa League next season. Some of the other veterans of the Mexico squad, Andres Guardado, who plays for Real Betis. Hector Herrera plays for Atletico, who was a champion in La Liga, so congratulations to him. And then you have, obviously the legendary goalkeeper Guillermo Ochoa. He's 35 or 36 by now, but, man, he's been doing it for Mexico, for years. And then Costa Rica, notably absent was Keylor Navas, who is, the all-star goalkeeper in the Costa Rican side. Famously won 3 Champions Leagues in a row for Real Madrid, so I'll always love Keylor forever for that. And then other notable players was Joel Campbell, who is currently playing in León for Mexico, but is known for his time at Arsenal and Villarreal. And then the legendary Brian Rees, who is currently playing for Alajuelense in Costa Rica, but notably also played for Sporting and PSV in Europe. So Costa Rica, they qualified for the last 2 World Cups, 2014 and 2018. So they have risen to become one of the dominant teams in the CONCACAF. This was always going to be a tight game with Mexico, but man, this was hard for Mexico as well. I thought they were going to I didn't think they were going to go to penalties. I thought Mexico would take care of Costa Rica in regulation, but they couldn't. And, I mean, it was a back-and-forth open game similar to the United States-Honduras. Both teams had good chances. It could have gone either way in a lot of moments in the game. But Mexico always finds a way to win. Penalty shootout, Mexico misses the first penalty. And I'm thinking, can Costa Rica's players, handle the pressure and score all their penalties? They couldn't. They go to sudden death penalties. And Guillermo Ochoa with another big save from Mexico. He's been doing it. He's been doing that for years. And there you have it. Mexico versus USA in the final. The classic CONCACAF matchup. I'm expecting an electric, high-paced game. Both teams have explosive players. And then from the U.S. side, we need a big game from Pulisic. He can't be quiet like he was in this game versus Honduras. We need Zach Steffen to kind of get his head in the game. Early in the first half against Honduras, he, made a couple mistakes. He had a nonchalant clearance in the 17th minute where I think it was Albert Ellis almost nicks it off him and creates an opportunity for himself. And then I mentioned earlier the bad clearance that he had on a set piece, which allowed Honduras to almost go up 1-0 on U.S. He has to get his head in the game. And we need to be more clinical. I'm hoping Gio Reyna gets a goal or assist, for his confidence, so he can feel that there's an end product. He was one of the standout players for me in the semifinal, but just putting that finishing touch to his game would be a huge difference for the United States. So I'm hoping for an organized, solid, passionate, gritty U.S. team, and for their individual quality to show on the attack, with some cutting passes and carving out a lot of chances against Mexico, as I'm sure Mexico will have their share of chances against us as well. So I'm excited for this matchup. This is going to be a really good game. I can't wait to watch it. Hopefully USA comes out on top and restores a little bit of dominance at the top of the CONCACAF, but we'll see. You never know. USA versus Mexico, anything can happen. So everybody, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos coming. Like I said, we'll talk about the South American World Cup qualifiers, the big news in Europe with the Euros and, transfers. So share, subscribe. If you know any soccer fans, share this with them. And thank you all for your support. I'll see you guys next time.